Some would call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. When you're good, it's not bragging. An elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see, the number 13 team in the country, the Texas A&M Aggies, taking on one of the top teams in this conference, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. Texas A&M about to boot it away to start this game. He'll bring it back looking for help. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Wants to adjust the pattern. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. This is a kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking for a huge play. He's got it on the right. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31 and a big pickup on that one. That's now 200 catches in his career.
It's so impressive because of his dependability. This guy has been consistent, David, week in, week out. He shows up, and he makes plays.
And it's easy to coach a guy like that. Consistent, does the work, catches the football, you know where he's going to be. That's why he's got 200 catches.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
Back has it. And the Wildcat is not working. They knock him down behind the line.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good one.
It'll be 3rd and long. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. Now facing a 3rd and long. Quarterback making adjustments. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Well, this offense has gone his way early and often in this game. They've gotten into a nice rhythm. That time, though, the defense was expecting the throw going his way, and they put a really nice hit on him to force the incompletion.
No good. And the score will stay right where it is after that miss.
And, man, this one getting off to a slow start, trying to get some points on the board, and the dreaded doink. And listen, points at a premium right now because nobody scored. But, man, that was inches away from being really good. We're still tied 0-0.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. Got his man. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop it. The Aggies with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Tight end finds a soft spot. They'll get him stopped at the 34. He's got 10 yards on that one and a first down. And the Aggies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning turkey bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked, maybe even double-team high-low, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you bum. That's fine. That's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about it.
There he goes. Races down to the 2 and stopped just short of the goal line as he goes out of bounds.
And I like it. Third down and short, and this offense stays aggressive, and now they're set up. Forget the field goal. We're not looking for 3 now. Now set up in a first and goal, trying to get a touchdown.
It's first and goal as Texas A&M comes to the line. Big fella moving. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And really good job knowing I don't get in the end zone. I got to get close to the end zone, be ready to break on the football as soon as they throw it. I can't give up any yards after the catch, and they don't right there.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
All right, so now you're in this third down situation close to the goal line, and it just feels, David, like they're going to have to throw the football in order to score a touchdown here. I like maybe trying to get the quarterback outside on the perimeter and give him a run-pass option.
I like that, too. Get the quarterback on the move. And here's the thing. If I get close and I get stopped, it's fourth down. Fourth down means go for it. That's all that means now today in college football.
Let's it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Aggies. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board. They can use this first score to sort of set the tone, guys, in this rivalry matchup.
Man, doesn't this feel good to come out, score early, get the crowd involved, get the nerves out of the way, Palmer, when you're playing in a big rivalry game?
Yeah, and I feel like momentum's always a big thing in any game, but in rivalry games, it's that much more important because everybody is going to feed off that first score now.
And he added the extra point.
Texas A&M 7, LSU 0.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Slips through the line. They bring him down, but not before a really good return sets up this offense in solid field position. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Motion from the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He wants to go deep. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
Looks to me on that deep ball like he was forcing it a little bit. You got to be careful as a quarterback. You're not trying to outduel the other guy who just threw a touchdown pass. You're just trying to win the game. So just execute the plays. The ball goes to who it's designed to go to. And if that means you got to turn around and hand it off, then that's what you got to do. But I think on that last deep ball, QB forcing it a little bit.
Unloads to the wideout. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Here they come, facing 3rd and long from the 40. From the gun, wants to pass. Working that left side now. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down.
That's really got to make this offensive coordinator feel good calling plays. You get a completion on 3rd down early in the game, and he should be having a lot of confidence now moving forward in this game calling plays.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. He's got it on the right. Still running at the 40. Guided out of bounds at the 22. Good play for this offense as they are threatening to score.
And if I'm a defense, I got to find a way to get some more pressure on the quarterback or disrupt their timing and their rhythm. I can't give them these big chunk plays through the air. I got to be maybe a little bit more aggressive or do something a little bit different.
To the air on 1st down. Oh, he makes the catch. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. Gonna look downfield again. The quick out. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a 1st and goal from the 10. Just a quick little turnout by that tight end, just moving the ball a little bit forward.
Yeah, that's called the stick route. You're just trying to turn around and give your quarterback a place to go with the football. That's an easy completion.
He wants to change this route. Wants to throw on 1st down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
And this offense shows right away on 1st down. They're willing to pass down here. Does this soften them up a little bit for the run here on 2nd down and goal?
Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
And you could tell the QB wants to run. He's going to be a big part of the game plan. And the defense really, really understands that. I got to understand. And more importantly, when I get a lick on this cat, I got to take it. Like, not dirty, not cheap shots, but end of the plays, when I can be physical and really make him feel me, I think that'll always bode well in a 4th quarter game.
Looking for the goal line. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, LSU. Extra point here will tie the game. Well, you could draw a line in the middle and he would have hit that thing.
Find my matchups out wide. I love a matchup with my wide receiver. I like my guy better than yours. Quarterback finds the matchup. The wide receiver catches the football, takes it into the end zone for 6.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. On the ground, it's Irwin. Got a little space. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here.
And that would be the definition of 1st down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice 1st down execution.
entertaining first quarter, and we are all locked up after one as we take a quick look at some stats. We've got a good one going here and looking forward to keep those vibes rolling here in the second. First play of the period, first down here. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. That's caught. It's Irwin. Huge play there into plus territory, and they'll mark him out of bounds at the 46.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the big fella. He'll get it inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39 before he goes out of bounds.
Well, the tight end shows off his speed. See his ability there to separate from the defender trying to cover him on that drag route.
The Aggies with a second and short to keep this drive moving. Rides the back and leaves it. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. Nothing the Aggies love more than saying howdy with a strong running game.
Yeah, how do you like that first down? How do you like that ground game? Like, that's what they've got to be built on. They got to have that toughness. When the Aggies have that toughness is when you see that their best teams are competing at a high level.
Pulls it in. It's good. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
I'll tell you, man, I love quarterbacks that have arm talent, but that can throw it accurately at the same time, and you saw all of it on that end route.
They'll go to the air on third and short. Fires to the tight end. That'll be enough for a first down, and they've got it at the 16-yard line. Third and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, third and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And you don't want to see this trend continue. Last week he was sacked 4 times. The offensive line, this offense as a whole, needs to get in better situations, get rid of the football faster, and not keep getting their quarterback hit.
Going to swing it on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
On third and long, no secret what he needs here. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
You're not going to win a lot of games if you can't protect your quarterback. In their last game, they got sacked 4 times, lost the game. And so far in this one, they're having difficulty again. These guys up front have got to do a better job communicating and giving their QB time.
And he knocks another one through. And how about this kicker? Good way to start off your season, right? Like, what do you have at the spot? Sometimes you don't know. Can he make those kicks? Starting off, hasn't missed one yet. Been very dependable for this squad.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Stokes. He gets a block. He's got an alley. Just barely able to keep him from pouncing it on that one. What a nice return. This dude is absolute electricity when he gets the ball in his hand. LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. They're still looking for a little more productivity as they trail 10-7. Gets it out fast.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting the football, letting them get some positive yards.
The Tigers have a lot of options on second and inches. Snap it to the back. It's a fumble. They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back.
Man, what a break. Great job falling on the football. Great job having some awareness. The running back coughed it up, but teammates there to pick him up, fall on the football. Listen, it's lucky, but it's a good job by the offense.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. Second down coming.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
Back to pass on second down. He gets it in! Touchdown, Tigers!
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And the extra point is good, and it's a 4-point lead. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, Auburn and Georgia have just wrapped up the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Here's a look at the latest chapter. Georgia was like a 65-man mute button. They went on the road and silenced one of the most vocal crowds in football. And it's clear this Dogs team has adopted the mantra, let your play do the talking. Sure happened today. Going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from this one is because, as we know, you can't lose games in the SEC like this without some blowback.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the... Oh, he's got some space. He goes out of bounds, maybe a step shy of the 40. They're going to mark it at the 39, and a really nice pickup there. Really good patience and recognition. And how about the tight end just finding the hole and settling and waiting until the quarterback saw it?
And the play completely changes. Once my QB gets outside the pocket, I got to see it, and I got to start working towards him, or if I'm near him working away, nice job being on the same page, getting the first down.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Fires to the wideout. He's open on the right. And a big-time grab there. Knocked down immediately, but not before he gets it to the 40.
Really good job there on the pitch and catch. You think about Texas A&M and their ability to recruit receivers in recent years. It's been about as good as anybody, I think. You think about names like Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. They're getting guys not just in the state of Texas, but nationally that want to come to College Station and they want to catch passes in this offense. They knows that gives them a chance to play on Sundays, and this guy, I think, is going to be one of those guys that we're seeing playing in the league.
Texas A&M back to work with another first down. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4. You know, sometimes even a short game like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot.
And this defense, we know, they present a lot of challenges. And you can see it right there, man. They shrink windows fast. They're a top 25 defense for a reason. You really better make sure you're dialed in today, or else they can make you pay in a hurry.
They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this first down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
4th down and 3, and they'll try to pick it up. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Quickly complete. He goes out of bounds. He's a few yards short, and they'll have to turn the football over. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. Plenty of time left in the half here as they take over, but they will want to be efficient here in the final 2 minutes. Off the RPO, complete. All kinds of room to the right. He's at the 20. Waltzes into the end zone, but he might be dancing the other way. There's a flag on the field. Those linemen can get a little aggressive sometimes in pass pro, and it'll cost him. Touchdown off the board, and they'll back up 5. Quarterback and running back set up in the pistol. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He wants to take the top off. Got it in stride inside the 20. He's got the sidelines going nuts as he gets it down to the 18-yard line.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
Fires left. He's got it. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal.
And this has got to be so demoralizing for this defense right now, having given up multiple first downs on this drive. Somebody on defense has to step up, make a play, and stop the bleed.
They'll move the wide receiver. Trying to bully their way in. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. See if the offense can punch it in on second and goal. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Going right back to the well, and this time he finds water. Gets it into the end zone for the touchdown.
And how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a 2-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Enough time to get off a play before we head to halftime. A running back has it. Good vision and determination there to find his way up to the 23. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. One more snap coming before halftime. These DBs going to give a little cushion. Throws to the wideout. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. LSU ready to boot it away and open this second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Texas A&M has it back on the offense, ready to go to work. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think again, if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw. Couldn't quite haul it in. had their first pick here late in the game.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly, and that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field.
Let's go! Let's go!
They'll go to the toss. Snowed under right at the line of scrimmage for no gain on the play.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Back to pass. Going for the big play. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Defensive holding, an automatic first down for this offense. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Quickly complete. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Finds his man. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Well, I think for that play to work, you need to have some access and cushion and coverage for the receiver to be able to do something with it after the catch. That time, the defender was just way too close, all over him, and he tackles him for no gain.
It's complete. And he's knocked down, but there's also laundry on the field. We'll see what the officials have called. Holding on the offense, accepted, so they'll back up and go at it again. And here comes the offense on second down. Wants to go up top. The sure hands, it's Stokes. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down.
When you play zone coverage, you got a wide receiver that's a beast. It becomes very, very difficult. Got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
From the gun on third down. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Stopped right at the 40-yard line, and this defense celebrating the turnover.
It's all about making plays, and this guy's been waiting to make his mark on this team. He gets his first interception of the season, and what a momentum-changing play for his team.
From the gun, give on the inside. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground. And the Aggies in a good spot here with second and short. Play action. Pocket breaking down. Gets it out quickly. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
I don't know if the defense came into this one expecting the fullback to be a weapon catching the ball, but that play didn't look like they were ready for him. He catches it, turns it upfield for the first.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, first and 10. He's got it. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
Wow, the quarterback knew he had to get that one to his receiver quickly on the in route. Did you see the velocity on that throw?
Nice catch along the sidelines, but they get nothing out of it. They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Well, on third and short and field goal range, they dial up the pass play. Quarterback was trying to get through his progressions. There was just simply nobody open. Couldn't make an accurate enough throw. Ball falls incomplete. Now setting up a big decision here on fourth down.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the third and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a first down. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep him from getting the first down. You talk about taking the wind out of a crowd. A fourth down conversion will do that.
Yeah, they were jacked up in here, excited. The fans get loud, rush the passer, and how about the conversion? The big fourth down conversion here in the third quarter to give yourself some life in a tight ball game.
Well, that's one the DB, I think, would like to have back. Out route, he was in man coverage. If he could have just got out of his break a little bit sooner, he might have had a chance to intercept that one and take it to the house.
Rush is on him. He just treated that thing like a hot potato, and they're going to call him for grounding. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And that's a play on third down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give him a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it, though. No good.
After the missed field goal, still down by 11.
That kicker needed to club up. Unfortunately, the ball hits the crossbar.
Here's the handoff. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up one to the 35.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last two drives, and the best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
And he is swarmed under a host of defenders there to make the stop.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you know, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Looks as if LSU will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Gives it on the option. Forges ahead. Picks up about 3 to the 29.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Well, this is a big moment for this offense, too, because you want to capitalize off getting the turnover, right? You just threw an incompletion. Now you got a big down coming up. You've got to find a way to make a play here so that you can generate points and capitalize off of the opponent's mistake.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Oh, it's picked off. What a bad time for a mistake like that. Got room on the return. The tag, and he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, LSU. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5? And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead.
Free safety roaming the middle of the field. You can see just reading the quarterback's eyes. But how about the break on the football, taking a great angle to pick it off and then do some damage and make the big play for this defense to score some points.
And he takes this from inside the 5. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period. Guys, LSU has the lead here. And they are starting to pull away as we come to the end of the third quarter. Let's take a look at how we got here. One more quarter to play. It looks as if we are ready to go here in the fourth. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Looking to throw on first down. Here's the pressure. And just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You've got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
And I'm just not sure where to put the blame. And I know they're going to lose this football game. They've struggled, and he's been sacked. I know he's turned it over and thrown an interception, but they haven't been in sync, and nobody's played real.
Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Man, I love the catch radius on this guy. If you just put it somewhere near his body, he's going to be able to reel it in. That was a phenomenal job, showing you his athleticism and also his concentration, making that outstanding grab.
Able to make the catch, but not in the field of play. It's an incomplete pass.
The defense is in great position right now because they've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They know the offense has to take shots to try to get themselves back in the game, so they're calling their coverages accordingly, and there was nowhere to go with that football. Really nice job by the defense being in position to force the incompletion.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. Going deep. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this D.
And this Wildcat is going to be declawed, stopped in the backfield.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Got his man on the outside. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
Here on 3rd down. Off the play fake. Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack.
Defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the fourth quarter with a big lead, he's still taking shots.
They'll send the back in motion. They go to the ground. Breaks into the open. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen.
And here's a fumble way behind the line.
Well, ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep two hands on the ball as well. And they're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped on.
And the Tigers with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Sends it back in motion. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. It's a makeable field goal from the 29-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they are on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. And it's incomplete on 3rd down.
3rd and long situation. They try to go screen. I think they were hoping it was going to be a big zone and they could get those offensive linemen down the field, but the defense sniffed it out, forcing the incompletion.
And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. And he'll have to find the line and generate some power, a 46-yarder from the left. And it slips just inside that right upright. And now the lead is even bigger. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Terrific showdown this week, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on. West Virginia has been blitzed from the opening kick, and as you can see, the score right now is a lot to a little. Let's see how this coach tries to explain this. They're trailing by 18 to Syracuse. We've got our eye on things here and everything else going on right now, and any updates, you'll see them here, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Bringing the heat. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. And the defense got it. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. And they turn it into a defensive score. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win.
And how about this defense, man? They just keep making plays. Another forced turnover and another touchdown, man. They don't just scoop these fumbles up. They're scooping them up with the intent to score. Their 2nd fumble return for a touchdown today.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit. He unleashes a long one. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on 1st down.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync. And that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And that is interception number 3 on the day. Bust through behind his pad.
Heat up them pass rushers, bring in them DBs. That's what I'm doing in this situation. When I got the lead by a couple scores late in the ball game, in the 4th quarter, I'm going to rush the passer like crazy. I'm going to put all those DBs back playing the pass. That's what happened. Great job understanding they're going to have to take shots. We get the interception. This one's almost over now.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware. But you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Ball spotted at the 27. They're facing a 3rd and long to try to keep their hopes of a touchdown alive. He does not get there. Stopped at the 25-yard line, and let's see what they do now on 4th down. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. And he'll need a little distance and accuracy, a 42-yarder from the left hash. Absolute shank. Missed it. Because no game is perfect, something has to go wrong, so the coach will have something to gripe about in film. So here comes the Texas A&M offense back onto the field. Threw a pick the last time they had it. They'll try to be more productive this time around. Caught behind the line. It's Irwin. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though. How quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big...
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
What a play by this defense, and they stop him short. It'll be 4th down. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Blasted as he lets it go. Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. They can stop the clock a couple more times, and they need to get it back fast, down 2 possessions as the clock keeps winding down. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion, and they earned a big dub today.
That will put the wrap up.